We're excited to talk about some top strategies that we've seen out there and how they work with the Teachable product for you to boost your sales on Teachable and reach some impressive milestones along the way, which we'll also talk about. My name is Jonah from Teachable. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. And our other presenter is Sam Orr. He is our Senior Product Manager of Commerce. Sam, how you doing today? Thank you for being here.
I am good. Thanks for having me. And thanks everyone else for hopping on. Definitely a topic that I'm excited to talk about. So thanks for letting me do so.
Yeah, of course. So we have a packed agenda today, like I mentioned. But first, I want to talk a little bit about Teachable Rewards, which is our new program designed to celebrate and motivate you as you grow your business on Teachable by keeping track of both your annual and lifetime sales. Not only are you able to see your progress firsthand, but you can also get access to various private groups, creator resources, exclusive events, and a whole lot of fun swag along the way. And more than anything, this whole program gives an opportunity for you to pause during your busy day and just celebrate those milestones along your journey. So, to be eligible for Teachable Rewards, there are only three requirements. You need to be subscribed to a paid plan. You have to be enrolled in Teachable Pay, which we'll talk more about a little later on. A lot of benefits for that as well for you as a creator and how you sell. And lastly, you need to have made over $1,000 in sales overall. So that's the entry point where you'll start climbing the Teachable Rewards ladder. And as we mentioned, you need to be on Teachable Pay to be eligible for T Rewards. Well, it does help us track sales for the rewards. We built Teachable Pay specifically to match the products you sell on our platform. It includes our Teachable Checkout, other features specifically designed to make your business run smoother, from automatically handling taxes every year to optimizing your checkout flow and offering more payment flexibility to your customers. It's available to anyone who has published at least one product on Teachable and has added a price to it. You just need to turn it on. We'll show you how to do that. Another reason why it's important for this presentation is that all of the strategies that Sam and I are going to talk about today are available on Teachable Pay if you have it turned on and are directly related to the checkout experience. So having all of your transactions on the platform will allow you to take full advantage of these strategies while also letting your sales qualify for Teachable Rewards as well. Now, I'll kick it over to Sam to kick off some of those strategies and we can dive in.
As a reminder, I'm Sam. I'm a senior product manager on the Teachable team. Would like to start off just by giving a little bit of context. Why are you here? Why are we presenting on these strategies? So this year, my team has really been trying to dig into what are some of the models for success selling efficiently on our platform, right? Like what are the tools that they're using? What do those tools represent in terms of what they're trying to accomplish as a business? And so ultimately, we have identified 6 of those selling strategies or models that are really the blueprint for being a successful selling creator on our platform. Today, we have hand selected 2 of those that we think are really applicable for folks who are just starting off. And so that's what today is, right? Is us kind of walking through like, what are the strategies and then the tools within those strategies that you can utilize to really be successful as you kind of begin on this journey as a selling creator on Teachable's platform. So I'm going to walk through these 2 strategies, give you a few examples of some creators that have been successful with those strategies. And then I'm going to demo both in admin where you can set up these tools and then show you a little bit of the student experience as well. So you can have a little bit of a better understanding for, hey, what are my students seeing when they go through these different tools? So with that, I want to jump in with the first strategy that we talk about, which is tapping into sales enablement. So sales enablement is really exactly as it sounds like. It is basically a strategy of removing the purchase barriers from potential students to enable more sales to be made. It is how do I create an efficient conversion funnel where I have folks that are converting at checkout. So there are a couple different ways in which you can do this. The first that I'm going to talk about is coupons. Coupons is by far the most used sales tool on Teachable's platform. Over 1,200 Teachable creators start offering this every week. It is tried and true. It's not rocket science, right? As creators, I'm sure running e-commerce businesses, right? Like coupons are very widely used. Hopefully something that you have already considered. But there are a couple different ways in which you can offer coupons on our platform. You can offer them as a school-wide coupon. Say you're just starting off as a creator, right? And you want to create a strategy of like, hey, I want to give everyone the opportunity to select the products that they want, to apply a coupon to that. So you have the ability to do that, or you can create product specific coupons where you are essentially picking one product. Say you're running a sale and you wanted to create a coupon specifically for that product so that you can promote it. You can create fixed amount coupons to say, hey, I want to give $50 off on this next purchase. You can create percentage coupons, which is, I would like to give 50% off or something like that. Again, just a reminder, I am going to walk through these and show you how to build those. But ultimately, the idea here is that you're removing some of the price barrier that your students may be experiencing based on the different prices that you have already kind of determined work for you. It's also a really great way for you to experiment with different prices, right? To kind of understand, like, if you're starting off selling, you may not know what your demand curve is, right? Like, you may not know your price elasticity. This is a great way for you to kind of figure that out. The next piece that I want to talk about is PayPal. So a study has shown that consumers are 50% more willing to make a purchase from a business that offers PayPal. So why is that? There are a couple of reasons. One is the fact that, like, this is a very well used or widely used payment method. And so anytime you're offering payment flexibility on checkout, you're giving more options for your students. There's a higher likelihood, right, that you're able to convert those students. There's also an element of using PayPal specifically where it offers legitimacy. It really allows you to build trust with your students because it is so widely used. So those are kind of the two reasons why this has yielded so much success for creators who are using this on our platform. As Jonah mentioned, all of these features are through Teachable Pay. We specifically have a back office tool that some of these features are bundled under. PayPal is one of those. Again, I will show you how to turn on back office so that you can utilize all of these features. They're really easy to turn on. They're essentially just toggles, but PayPal is a part of that back office feature. Last, but certainly not least within this sales enablement strategy is tax inclusive pricing. So what is tax inclusive pricing? For folks who have made purchases, I don't think anyone has ever been able to escape sales tax on any purchase at some point in their lives, right? Like, if you were to go out to a checkout, say you're buying groceries, when you buy $100 worth of groceries and you live somewhere that, let's call it, has a 7% sales tax on top of that. What you pay at checkout is $107 in that scenario, right? It is $7 more than the sales price that you had originally agreed to. Another way that you can really enable sales on our checkouts is by using tax inclusive pricing, which is subtracting that amount from the sales price, right? So with that same example, it would be, hey, as a student, you're only paying $100. If that is a 7% sales tax or a $7 sales tax, it is removing that from the one price. So I'm still only paying $100. As the reason that this is such an effective tactic is because it allows for you to maintain consistency and trust across the price point. When students are perusing your sales pages, when they're kind of getting an understanding for what they're buying, they're only seeing the sales price, right? So that allows them to maintain that same consistency of price. As a creator, that is essentially, like, instead of tacking on that sales tax amount, it is subtracting it from the amount that you're getting from students. But we've seen that the amount that you are losing in taking the sales tax out of the sales price, that is more than made up for by the amount of conversion on average that we have seen for creators who are using this on the platform. So this has led to, on average, 22% more conversions on the platform. In particular, different countries, different jurisdictions have really varying sales tax rates, right? So in some places it could be a 4%. In a lot of international countries, it can go as high as 25%. So by introducing this, right, if you're selling something for $10, maybe it doesn't make, as much of a difference. But say you're selling at a high ticket item of like $100, $500, $1,000, at 25% sales tax on top of that really starts to, that's a big impact, right? And so being able to work with your students on the pricing component of tax is something that has yielded a ton of success. So wanted to give you guys an example of a creator who has used this really successfully. So Bridget O'Connor's Watercolors is a school on our platform that, if you have not checked out Bridget's school, definitely recommend that you do so. Bridget sells watercolor courses. They're actually quite beautiful. I've taken a couple myself, absolutely love them. But Bridget O'Connor started using tax inclusive pricing about a year ago, and since then has made over 200K from tax inclusive checkouts, as well as seen a 15% increase in international sales. I kind of mentioned that sales tax really, it differs in different markets. For Bridget specifically selling into Europe, for example, right? That's around 18 to 25% sales tax in each of those different markets. So it's really yielded a lot of success, both in terms of conversion, but then also building trust with your students, right? Like something to keep in mind is if you really want to run like a sustainable business, right, with these students, then you want them to keep coming back. You want them to keep making purchases. And so if you're establishing that trust from the get-go, right, like the checkout is one of their first interactions with you as a creator, particularly on the Teachable platform. And so if you're able to build that trust here, right, I, at least as a student, am so much more likely to come back and to engage you on future sales. So definitely something to keep in mind, right? Like, yes, it's eating into that first initial like earnings that you may be making, but it's one step back to take 10 steps forward potentially. And that's what we have seen on the platform. So the next strategy that I want to talk about, and again, like I said, I'm going to go through all of the examples and demo all of those different sales tools that we went through, but want to switch gears to strategy number 2, which is growing sales from the top of your funnel, right? So we just kind of talked about checkout conversion. How do I create an efficient funnel? But how are you putting folks into that funnel? How are you growing your network is kind of like the next piece, right? You want to cast a wide net and you want to build your network. And so as creators, I'm a creator myself, and something that has been notoriously tricky for me and certainly has been tricky for creators on our platform is marketing, right? Like we hear a lot this sentiment, the creators are like, look, I just want to focus on my content. That's what I love. That's what I want to do. And so marketing is something that folks don't necessarily want to spend time on, or maybe are not as savvy in this area. And so that's why Teachable wants to and has introduced a set of features that really allow you to like make this easier so that you're not spinning your wheels on marketing. You're able to do this in a really efficient manner. So the idea here is essentially to help you tap into your existing network so that you can grow that network, grow that audience, and ultimately from that grow sales. So first piece that I want to talk about is affiliate marketing. 16% of online orders in the US come through affiliate marketing. You more than likely, whether it's through social media or just your own, e-commerce interactions on the internet, have come across affiliate marketing, widely used. It is a way for you to expand as a creator. It's a way for you to expand your network with your network's network, right? It's a way to go up beyond this immediate circle and to tap into other folks' audience, right? And to kind of leverage partnerships that you can build with people who are in your circle to really expand. This is a part of back office. Specifically, what we handle with affiliates, you assign an affiliate commission for affiliates that are on your platform. So any sale that they make, they're getting a percentage of the earnings. Through back office, Teachable handles the automated payouts of those earnings, so you don't have to worry about it. And then equally as important, Teachable's handling the sales or the income tax forms for these affiliates. So at the end of the year, come tax time, if you're like, man, I really just don't want to have to deal with, trying to allocate earnings to affiliates, figure out, W8, W9 forms. You don't have to. That is something that Teachable offers on our end through back office. Last thing that I'll say about affiliates, just because, again, affiliates is one topic that I do really like talking about, because I think in a lot of ways it can be a little misunderstood. I think affiliate marketing can have a reputation for being somewhat disingenuous at times, right? It's essentially like, hey, I'm going to get a bunch of bots to go in and to just like push my sales so that they can convert as many as they can. Done successfully, that's not what affiliate marketing is at all, right? Like I really try to encourage creators who are utilizing this tool, really turn to like, it is a business relationship, right? Like turn to folks in your audience that you truly trust, that have good, like, and a lot of times our creators work in small circles and they're kind of in niche areas that they're selling to. There's likely someone within that is like a voice leader, right? So like try to build a relationship with them so you can really partner on like, hey, here are my goals, right? And let's understand your goals as an affiliate, right? So that we can really focus on like the content pieces of what we're trying to push. And you can treat it like a true business partnership as opposed to just like, hey, it's a numbers game. I'm just going to like slam affiliates to anyone that I can to try to convert those sales. So just something to keep in mind outside of just like the actual function of affiliates with Teachable. It's just like the way in which you go about that affiliate program is really going to kind of dictate the success that you see with it. Next piece I want to talk about is gifting. There are currently about 30,000 Teachable creators who are offering their products as gifts on our platform. So I kind of spoke about affiliate marketing where the incentive is, hey, I share this product with someone, I get a certain percentage of income from that. Gifting is really about, hey, I have these students who are really passionate about the thing that I teach. How do I leverage them when they want to share that outward with their network? How many times have you had a product that you absolutely love and you're like, you know what, so and so would love this as a gift. I'm going to buy them this for the holidays, right? So like that's kind of the premise here is like, how do I share this with other people? Where me as a student sharing it, my incentive is just like, hey, this is an awesome product and I want to buy a gift for somebody that I'm close to. The best salespeople are the ones who are already your fans. That is something that just for any of these strategies is something that's really important to keep in mind, right? Like quality products speak for themselves when people actually experience that quality product and they actually, like see value in it. And so that's kind of the idea here behind gifting.
Sam, can I tag in real quick? Just because I interviewed a creator recently that was saying gifting changed some of their marketing because it's very easy to get caught up thinking that your marketing is to your end user. Now they're testing marketing to the person who would buy it for the end user. So rather than marketing to their customer, marketing to their parents who have more money and finding a lot of success there. So gifting
Sure.
can also affect just your whole marketing strategy and how you think about who you're marketing to.
100%. And I love going after the parents too. No, thanks for that, Joe. I definitely agree, right? Like it can change it. And I think for something like gifting too, with a lot of these, right, which I'll show you, they're toggles. Like you can turn them on, you can turn them off. So it's really easy for you to run experimentation and to see like, hey, what's working for me? Gifting is the ability for somebody to buy a product on behalf of somebody else, right? And send it to them. If you wanted to run a gifting campaign, you could introduce a coupon strategy where you're building coupons that give a certain discount amount for gifting, right? You can push that to your audience and then essentially they're buying gifts at a discounted price that they're then sharing with other folks. So like there's a lot of ways in which you can mix and match this, right? Particularly, I know we're a ways away, but creators really start thinking in the summer around like, hey, what's my Black Friday strategy? That's usually like a really big time for sales, right? And so like, how do I leverage gifting with like my affiliate marketing and folks who are going to be pushing out a big sale that I'm trying to make around Cyber Week. So again, just like hopefully this is helping y'all get the gears turn a little bit in terms of how you can kind of mix and match some of these pieces. Last but not least, I want to talk a little bit about student referrals. Student referral program is essentially a way for you to create like a double-sided incentive program where your existing students can refer other students to their platform. So again, different from gifting, I'm not buying it for somebody, but I can refer them to a product that I have loved. And by doing so, say I'm referring Jonah to a course that I love. Through this program, if Jonah converts, Jonah's buying this product at a discounted price. So he is getting a discount as the person being referred. If that referral is successful, me as the person doing the referring, I'm also getting a coupon that I can apply to future sales, right? So it's another way for you to like create an incentive program to continue to bring people back. Like a big thing with success on our platform is repeat sales, right? Like how are you building your students' lifetime value? How are you bringing them back? This is a great way to do that. And so similar to the point that I made earlier around your audience and your fans are your best salespeople, that applies to student referrals as well. People are 4 times more likely to buy something when they are referred by a friend. Again, we talked about affiliates and the incentive program is really around, earnings and money that you can get from that. For student referrals, yes, there's an incentive for you to get a discount, but really it's your voice on the line, right? If I'm sharing that with Jonah, it's my reputation. I'm saying, hey, Jonah, I love this product, right? This is something that is valuable to me. I want you to have it. And so that goes a long way, both in terms of who's actually going to be sharing your content, as well as like Jonah actually wanting to be a part of that. He's absolutely going to take into account the fact that it's like, okay, well, I trust Sam. Sam's a friend of mine. I want to see what this is all about. And so that's a big reason why the student referral program can yield success as well. So I wanted to spotlight one other school that is currently utilizing the sales strategy of top of funnel growth. And then from there, as I mentioned, I am going to demo these pieces. Another school that if you haven't checked out, one of my favorites, the Pilot Institute. So the Pilot Institute is a school that teaches drone flying courses as well as like personal aircraft flying courses. Super cool. Again, just even their website, if you just poke around, is like the coolest thing ever. Through these 3 features that I mentioned, they've made over 1 million from those features alone, from gifting, from affiliates, from student referrals, and they've grown their student base by 8,000. A big reason for this is their affiliate program. Specifically, if you go to their website, it's pretty easy to find their affiliate program on there where they are sourcing, again, for folks who are really interested in this content, who find their way onto their website. They are utilizing our automated affiliate form to just say, hey, if you want to, help us expand our network, we'd love to be partners. And essentially a form that, again, I'll walk you all through it. I'll show you how you can utilize this, but it's a way that they're sourcing outwards for affiliates, and then they can either approve or deny whether they want to work with those affiliates and add them to the platform. I am going to switch gears and walk everyone through this. So just for the sake of ease walking through these, I'm going to show all 6 of those different features in admin. And then I'm going to show you the checkout view for students who might be utilizing this. So first piece that I want to show you is coupons. So if I navigate to site, there is a coupons tab. There are a couple different ways you can make coupons. You can make them directly on the course or product that you're selling, or you can go to the site coupons page. I think the site coupons is a little bit more straightforward, so I will show you all that flow. So through this, as I mentioned, I can make school-wide coupons. I can make product coupons. Those can be configured in a number of different ways. Just one call out that I want to make is the fact that, as I mentioned, for site-wide coupons or coupons that are product specific, you can choose, but say you're pushing your membership more than you want to push anything else, I can create coupons that are only applied to like my membership products, right? So I can turn to my audience and be like, hey, I have this membership, it's 10% off for the next month, right? Like that's a way for you to push different product types. The next one is PayPal. I mentioned having that on checkout as being a pretty substantial value add. So if I go to settings and I go into payments, this is where I can manage my Teachable Pay gateway, as mentioned. Like if you're onboarding the Teachable Pay, so you can have access to these features, I can manage that pretty easily from this payments tab, as well as turn on back office and manage the tools that are within back office. So right now, as I mentioned, I have back office enabled for my school. If I want to enable PayPal, again, super easy. It's a toggle. Click it on, and it's on all your checkout pages from that point forward. And then if you want to turn it off, the same thing. Right. So like for a lot of these pieces too, if you're like, hey, I'm on the fence, I don't know if this makes sense for my business, just keep in mind, like it's pretty easy to just go in and turn these on, turn these off. It is for the sake of experimentation that we have made it that way. The next piece, that third tool under sales enablement, was tax inclusive pricing. So still under my settings tab, if I go to the taxes page, another toggle, right? If I wanted to experiment with, hey, I want to tack the sales price on for future purchases, or maybe I just want to eat that cost, right? And I want to incorporate it in again to try to see if that yields the same conversion that, on average creators are seeing on our platform. You can enable that via a toggle as well. So relatively straightforward. For affiliates, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this just because it is so robust. But if I go to my users, you'll see an affiliates tab where you can manage all of your affiliates. This kind of serves as your hub for the affiliate product. So if this is your first time, you're going to go through an onboarding flow. There's a couple screens just to kind of familiarize everybody with like the different features that we offer. You're probably wondering like, okay, what's my affiliate seeing? It walks you through that as well. Anytime you add a new affiliate, your affiliate has essentially a separate login, a separate account on Teachable where they can only see things that are pertinent to affiliates, and they can manage their payouts, right? Like they can access resources that you share with them. They'll also go through an onboarding flow so that everybody's on the same page, right? In terms of how you're managing this. But a few different things that you can do on this page, again, to add affiliates, pretty easy. There's a button in the top right-hand corner that allows you to import folks via CSV. And all of those affiliates you can manage from a table here. For prospective affiliates, right? So like the major questions that we always get around facilitating an affiliates program is like, where do I find my affiliates? One. And two, like, okay, I have these affiliates, like, how do I share resources with them? Like, what do they do, right, to be successful? And so for the first one around how you find affiliates, I mentioned like leverage your circle and the folks that you trust who are subject matter experts in your field who have audiences. But if you're really struggling to source for affiliates, as I kind of showed with the Pilot Institute, a lot of folks will utilize our affiliate application. So this is, again, an automated form that you can either have auto approvals on if you just want everyone who applies to just be a part of your affiliate program, or if you want to vet that a little bit more, you can set this to be manual approval. So once an application comes in, again, I don't have any currently, but if I did have somebody who submitted that application that I set up, I would see them here. It would give me the information that they submitted, and I can make a decision like, hey, do I want to accept them, approve them to my program? Perhaps like, do I want to reach out to them and maybe have a longer conversation? It's really up to you how you want to manage this, but this is a tool that is available to you. And then the last piece is just affiliate resources, right? I kind of mentioned like, hey, how do I find affiliates? But then like, what do I give affiliates? And so there are kind of two tools. The first thing is affiliate links. Our affiliate program works where your affiliates are going to get their commission percentage based on having like a cookie that's associated with the URL that they're sharing. So if there are specific pages you want to point to, a sales page, a checkout page, a website, essentially all you have to do is enter that here, enter the URL, and then once you do that, it will generate unique codes or links for all of your affiliates that they'll be able to access on their side of the program. And then the last piece of that is like promotional materials, right? We really, suggest and encourage that if you're going to run an affiliates program, you provide some resources, like whether that's, marketing materials, templates that you want to use, color schemes, even just like context, right? Then you can drop that all in different documents and then they can access that, download that on their side. Moving on, gifting. Gifting is another one that is an easy toggle. So I'm going to take us back to settings. If you go to the bottom of this general settings page, you'll see the toggle for gifting. Again, this is basically the ability to offer a send as gift option on your checkout page. If you want to experiment with it again, we encourage you to do so. Anybody who is on a paid plan, who is also on Teachable Pay, has this auto enabled. If you want to turn it off, that's totally well within your right. To do so, you can manage it. The last piece I want to show you, and I recognize too, I know I'm jumping around, as I mentioned, you can go back later, slow down my presentation and poke around. But if I go to the sales or the site page, there is a referral program tab at the very bottom here as well, where I essentially have management and creation of the double-sided program that I spoke to. So if I set up referrals, this will walk me through the ability to set the percentage reward that goes to the person getting referred, as well as the person who is doing the referring. And then I can manage each of those individual referrals from this page. That is everything in admin that I covered as far as those two sales tools. So just as a reminder, it's sales enablement and then top of funnel growth, with those tools that I just walked through kind of falling in one or two of those. As I kind of mentioned as well, like please feel free, and we encourage you to try to like mix and match those in a way that makes sense to you. There is no one size fits all for these tools. Like the strategies we pulled out have been what we've seen just over like across all of our schools, in particular our top sellers and what success they have had. But with each individual school, it's going to be different, right? So definitely encourage you to keep in mind like what's working for me or what can, and to experiment with some of these features. Okay, so let me log out really quick so we can just walk through this as a totally new user. Enter the coupon code if I want here. I think I created one just for testing here. We call it Next Level Selling. I created a 50% off coupon. So that has now been applied, right? So again, pretty easy to apply a coupon. PayPal is an option here. Again, that's going to open a different modal for you to utilize PayPal. Again, tried and true method. Definitely recommend you do so. And then for gifting, if I wanted to send this as a gift, checkbox, right? I put in the name of the person I'm buying it for. I put in their email address. I put in a little message. This is going to send them a personalized email. Again, this says golf massage, not because that's actually how it reads, but that's because I was messing around with a little bit of customizable functionality. So ignore that. And then the last piece that I wanted to mention was tax inclusive pricing. So in this case, let me put in my Texas address. I'm currently hailing from Austin, Texas, by the way. You can now see like the sales price has not changed, but because I have tax inclusive enabled, it says including $762 in taxes. That is the tax rate for sales here in Texas. That was a mouthful, but I am Finn. I will turn it back over to you, Jonah. Thanks for letting me take over most of the time.
Since you're sticking around, we also want to give you one more bonus tip, which is buy now, pay later. This is especially relevant for those of you that already had some sales. I saw some of you in the chat already have this, are looking to bring in more students. When you use Teachable Pay as your checkout and enable back office, you have the option for buy now, pay later. This is something you've probably experienced buying products where rather than paying the full cost, you can choose different payment plans. Some of the key benefits are specifically popular providers like Klarna and Afterpay. is that, well, your customer can pay in installments. You actually get the full payment upfront like a normal transaction. Those companies assume the responsibility and the liability that can come with missed payments, while you just enjoy the full benefits of the full sale. Your checkout conversions will also likely go up as your customers can find the right payment method that works for them. So another feature that is very easy to turn on, you can just click it on and will help meet your students where they are at as far as what they can afford right now. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to be here. And if you find success with any of these strategies, let us know. Tag us on social media when you do so. We love to hear about all of those elements. Thank you, Sam, and we appreciate you all. Thanks for being here today.